Welcome back. All right, so we're in between the second and third period between Seattle and San Jose. Now's as good a time as any to record the first board, and then the second board I can get done after the games are done, and then that way the review video gets uploaded just that little bit quicker, a little bit earlier. All right, so we're gonna start things off looking at what so far has been the biggest shocker of the night, and unless aliens actually reveal themselves at center ice during the Seattle San Jose game, I think it's safe to say this is probably the biggest shocker. Annunen versus Tarasov. I know that's dangerous. The game's not done yet. But yeah, Annunen versus Tarasov in this one. The shots 3-1 Colorado, 6.5 minutes. The Avs get some pressure 7 minutes in. McKinnon has a rush chance. That saved. Drouin can't bury one in close. The Avs are controlling. Tarasov pretty sharp, and that would be a bit of an understatement. Good forechecking by Colorado. Makar has a shot that's held as the Avs press. Gaudreau then has a net drive that's held with 3:31 left. Columbus gets a power play. That becomes 44 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything gets killed off there. It's 0-0 after one. Second period. Shots are 3-1 for the Avs, a minute and a half in. We then get Columbus with some pressure 2.5 minutes in. Columbus would end up with a power play. Marchenko has a shot that's held. That power play is killed off, but on a rush, Marchenko would get his 20th of the year. Goodbranson and Gaudreau with the assists at 9:33. Columbus, surprisingly, ahead 1-0. Shots are 10-8 Colorado halfway through the period. The Avs press with 9 minutes left. Marchenko's then robbed on a fast break. And then Nylander buries one from the slot at 14-12 from Voronkov and Provorov. So it's 2-0 Columbus. We get a power play for the Avs. That's killed off. 2 shots on net. And then at 18:01, Nylander gets the second of the period from Bean and Goodbranson. Have I mentioned lately Nylander seems to like it in Columbus? It's 3-0 for the Blue Jackets after 2. Third period, we have a power play for Colorado. McKinnon has a one-timer that's held. Power play's killed off. Tarasov's the story. His shutout stays until the 4:39 mark, where Wagner deflects one 5-hole. The assist to Sean Walker. No chance on that one for Tarasov. Avs go back to the power play. That's killed off. Things get pushed in a hole by Tarasov. The shots are 14-1 for Colorado with 8 minutes left. Insane. Goalie pull happens with 3 minutes left, and at 18:27, Cylinder hits the empty net from Texier and Marchenko. So your final score in this one, 4-1 Columbus. They go to 25, 38, and 12 with the win. With the loss, Colorado 47, 22, and 6. And they miss out on a chance to gain ground on Dallas. So Dallas could send like some kind of charcuterie plate to the Columbus players to enjoy. Shots on net, 11-7 for Colorado in the first, 17-14 Colorado in the second, 18-4 Colorado in the third. Final shots are 46-25 for the Avs. Power plays, the Avs 0 for 4, Columbus 0 for 2. The hits 19-7 Columbus. Annunen saves 21 out of 24. Tarasov saved 45 out of 46. Very, very impressive result for Columbus, a team that is nowhere near a playoff spot. Next up, Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. So Nedeljkovic versus Shesterkin. And 18 seconds in, you got the feeling this might not be the night for the Rangers. On a rush chance, it is Rust, not Rush. Rust scores from Crosby and Smith. That's an honest mistake, though. So Rust scores from Crosby and Smith very early. Wenberg has a rush chance that's held. The Rangers press at 4.5 minutes. There's a post for Crosby on a rush. It was a very fast back and forth game. Pressed by the Penguins at 8 minutes. The Penguins score. There's an offside challenge, and it counts. It took a long time for them to review it. And when those reviews, the longer they take, the more of a chance it is the goal's going to stand. So Crosby gets the goal from Joseph and Letang at 10:39. The power play becomes a minute and 19 seconds of 4-on-4. Everything's killed off, but it's 2-0 Pittsburgh after 1. Second period, the teams exchange turnovers. We get a power play for New York. The Rangers score, but it's waved off for goalie interference, so that doesn't happen. And so the Rangers then are unable to score on that power play as the Penguins finish the kill after that. The Rangers press after the power play's done. Miller has a chance that deflects out. The shots are 5-1 New York, 9 minutes in. In fact, the Penguins only had 8 shots halfway through the game. Just 2 of them have gone in the net. Malkin's denied and close. We get a power play for the Penguins. Letang has a shot that's held. Fans call one. The referee does not. With 2:01 left, the Rangers go to the power play. That's killed off. Pretty solid penalty kill. We go to the third. Near miss for Crosby on a turnover. The shots are 2 apiece at 4 minutes. Penguins are trapping up by 2. Rangers press are kept to the outside. At 9:51, Bemstrom adds a goal. It's been a while since he got on the board. Puljujärvi with the assist. It's 3-0 for the Penguins. Fox has a rush chance that's held, or was it? Well, Kakko scores from Fox and Panarin at 10:42, so that counts. There's too many Rangers on the ice. The Penguins get a power play. That's killed off. The Rangers press with 3 minutes left. They pull the goalie, and Rust scores into the empty net from Carter and Letang at 17:21. The Rangers pull the goalie again. Sidney Crosby hits the empty net unassisted at 19:15. Your final score in this one's 5-2 for the Penguins. They go to 33-30-11 with the win. With the loss, the Rangers 50-21-4. Shots on net, 10-6 Rangers in the first, 11-7 Rangers in the second, 9-7 Rangers in the third. Final shots 30-20 for the Rangers. Power plays, both teams 0 for 3. The hits 19-13 Rangers. Nedeljkovic saves 28 out of 30. Shesterkin, not a great statistical night for him. 15 saves on 18 shots. All right, next up, the Islanders and the Flyers. The Flyers continue to get their foot, get the gun, and shoot themselves straight in the foot. Varlamov versus Eriksson. Fedotov, the backup, and that's how they were pronouncing it, was Fedotov, so I will pronounce it that way. At 4:57, the Flyers actually get on the board first. It's Noah Cates. Buries it from the slot on his own entry, so it's 1-0 Flyers. Shots are 4-2 for Philly at 7.5 minutes, but the Islanders will get on the board at 12:03. It's Martin. Via a turnover. There's some nice passing. Martin buries one out from the slot. McLean and Riley with the assists. And then 18 seconds later, via a 3-on-2 rush, Horvat gets his 30th of the season. Barzal and Cizikas with the assists. So at 12:21 of the first, it's 2-1 for the Islanders. We have a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. Forster can't bury one in close. It stays 2-1 for the Islanders after one. Second period, Fedotov was in the net as Eriksson's done for the night. Early press by the Flyers, and at 43 seconds, again, from the high slot, zone entry, Sanheim scores. It's his 10th of the season. That ties the game up at 2. Flyers then press for the lead. Barzal has a rush chance. That's saved. We get a power play for the Islanders. That's killed off. Shots are 9-2 for the Islanders with 9 minutes left. We get a power play for Philly. They have the worst power play in the NHL. Well, the Islanders have the worst penalty kill. So when it is the highly movable force versus the it's pretty hard to stop it from moving object, your guess is as good as mine, but in this case, the number 32 ranked penalty kill wins. Islanders press are kept to the outside. Martin has a one-timer that's saved and held, and then Lee on what was a double deflection. It goes in. Romanov with the assist at 17:52. That makes it a 3-2 lead for the New York Islanders after 2. Third period, early power play for the Flyers. Does it suck? Well, Zamula has a shot that deflects wide. Power play's killed off. Yep, it sucks. That's the 32 ranked power play. Shots are 9-1 though for Philadelphia at 6.5 minutes, so they're getting chances. Flyers press at 6.5 minutes. Things get punched in a hole by Varlamov. Goalie pull happens with 2:23 left. There's back-to-back icings by the Islanders. Konechny has a one-timer that's held, and then Morgan Frost ties the game. Drysdale and Konechny with the assists at 19 minutes and 50 seconds. So 10 seconds left in the period. We've got a tie game. Goes to overtime. In the overtime, Frost with an untimely turnover. The Islanders make him pay to get the game winner. It is Nelson from Palmieri at 1:24. And the Islanders win in Philadelphia 4-3 in overtime. They go to 32, 27, and 15 with the win. The Flyers do get a point. They're now 36, 29, and 11 on the season. So it's 83 points for the Flyers. We'll see how things go from here. Shots on net, 11-6 Philly in the first, 17-3 Islanders in the second, 19-3 Philly in the third. The Islanders had the only shot of the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots, 33-27 Philly. Both teams go 0 for 2 on the power play. Hits 36-27 for the Islanders. Varlamov saves 30 out of 33. Eriksson saved 4 out of 6. And Fedotov saves 19 out of 21 in relief. I thought he looked good. I did. And there seems to be a lot of hype about him. So we'll see how things go for him from here. Now that there's going to be a little bit of pressure on Fedotov, especially if he does outplay Eriksson and if he gets the lion's share starts the rest of the way. All right, last game on this board, the Wings and the Lightning. So the Detroit Red Wings have been doing this. The trick is maintaining it. The trick for Detroit has been they can come out, they can play a good game, they can get points, and then the next game, that's been the problem. So it's Lyon versus Vasilevsky in this one. We get a power play for Tampa Bay. That's killed off. Shots are 4-3 for Tampa Bay, 6.5 minutes in. Bolts get some pressure, 7.5 minutes into the game. Asimon has a wraparound that's blocked. Kucherov has a wrister that's held in order to get a change. So Detroit under siege a little bit in that first period. We get a power play for the Lightning. Kucherov fires one wide. It's cleared out. That power play is killed off. Shots are 10-5 for Tampa with 6.5 minutes left. Raymond is absolutely robbed on a breakaway by Vasilevsky. 2:28 left. The Wings get a power play. That's killed off. It's 0-0 after the first. Second period. At 37 seconds, Kane buries a backhand into the net to open the scoring for Detroit. Larkin and DeBrincat with the assists. 3.5 minutes in, the shots are 3-0 for Detroit. Bolts press at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for Detroit. There's a review to see whether or not Tampa Bay scored, and they don't. So the next opportunity goes in. It is Cirelli, I believe, was his goal that they said didn't go in, so this one counted. Cirelli from Hagel at 8:36 wires that one from the right circle, and then the Bolts finish the kill. So it's 1-1 at that stage. DeBrincat has a rush chance that's held. The Wings press with 4.5 minutes left. Rasmussen's denied on a turnover opportunity. Bolts press in the final minute, and then there's a post for Fisher from the neutral zone. If that had gone in, but at any rate, it's 1-1 after the second period. Third period, early Wings power play, that's killed off, but at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, Fabry scores from Compher. So Detroit has the lead. What happens next? Andrew Kopp with an ugly-looking board on Hagel. So that leads to a scrum thereafter, and it also leads to a Tampa Bay power play because you can't board a guy, which leads to Stamkos. Who else on the power play? Tic-tac-toe play for his 31st of the season. Point and Kucherov with the assists at 5:59. Bolts press at 8.5 minutes. Kane has a shot that deflects out as the Wings press. The shots are 7-6 for Tampa with 6 minutes left. But at 17 minutes and 20 seconds, Perron puts Detroit in the lead. Sider and Compher with the assists. So now Tampa Bay has to pull the goalie, and that leads to Lucas Raymond, who was determined to get a goal after being denied earlier in the game. He gets one at 18:57 into said empty net. Detroit wins 4-2. They go to 37-30-8 with the win. With the loss, Tampa Bay 41-26-7 on the season. Shots on net, 16-12 Tampa in the first, 10-9 Tampa in the second, 11-10 Detroit in the third. Final shots 36-32 for Tampa. Power plays 0-3 for Detroit, 1-3 for Tampa. Hits 32-30 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lions saves 34 out of 36. Vasilevsky saves 28 out of 31. And now, I need to change boards. All right, now, Florida and Toronto. So the one game with a bunch of goals in it, and we're going to start with this on board number 2. Bobrovsky versus Samsonov in this one. The shots are 2-1 for the Leafs at 3 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. The Panthers then press. They're kept to the outside. Florida draws a power play. Toronto kills that off. The shots are 6-5 for the Panthers with 8 minutes left. There's a near miss for Tkachuk. The rebound's cleared. And then on a breakaway, Nick Robertson scores from Nyes at 13:58. I think he needs to be a regular. I know I've said that before. Leafs press for another, and they get it. At 14:32, Matthews scores from TJ Brody. So Brody, again, still hasn't had a goal in a long time, but he's getting points. Panthers then draw a power play. That's killed off by the Leafs. One shot on net. Bertuzzi has a rush chance that's saved. With 1:21 left, Florida gets their third power play of the first period, so that rolls over into the second period. The Leafs would finish the kill, but shortly after it's done at 47 seconds, Montour scores from Verhaeghe. Toronto responds basically right away at 1:26. Bertuzzi tips one in. Matthews and Domi with the assist, so Austin Matthews with a goal and a helper to that point. Toronto up 3-1. Leafs draw a power play. That's killed off. Things get pushed in a hole by Bobrovsky. There's a press by Toronto at 7.5 minutes. And at 8:32, Kampf scores from Ryan Reeves. So Reeves with another point. We get a power play for Toronto. That's killed off. And then at 14:05, Nyes tips one in, his first goal in 8 games. The assists to Holmberg and Robertson. Panthers press to respond, but yeah, it's 5-1 Toronto after the second period. Third period, Panthers press at 2 minutes, and they would score. Tarasenko tips one in from the slot. Mikkola and Luostarinen with the assists at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Panthers press for another. There's more pressure by them at 5.5 minutes. In fact, they get another power play. That's killed off. Then at 11:58, Reinhart buries one in close during a press. Tarasenko and Barkov with the assists. And don't look now, but suddenly it's only a 2-goal lead. Things get pushed in a hole by Samsonov. The goalie pull happens with 3:02 left. And at 18:02, Bennett puts one past a screen in front. Tarasenko and Tkachuk with the assists. So they pull the goalie again, looking for the tie. In this case, at 19-14, Austin Matthews hits the empty net, and Toronto holds on. They win this one 6-4. They go to 43, 22, and 9 with a huge victory. Florida, this is tough because, of course, they're fighting for first place with Boston. Boston tomorrow night's in Nashville. Florida's playing tomorrow night as well. They're in Montreal, so we'll see how that goes for them, but they're 47, 23, and 5 with the loss. Shots on net, 8 apiece in the first, 8-7 Toronto in the second, 15-7 Florida in the third. Final shots 30-23 for the Panthers. Florida goes 0-4 on the power play. Toronto 0-3 the hits. 49-41 for the Panthers. Bobrovsky, tough stats here, 11 saves on 16 shots. Samsonov continues to play well, 28 saves on 30 shots. So, huge win by Toronto. We'll be interested to see how the media looks at this tomorrow and what kind of articles we see, but I think you have to be happy with the result tonight if you're a Leafs fan. Next up, the Edmonton Oilers and the St. Louis Blues. So it's Skinner versus Binnington, early jump for the Oilers. Neighbors has a net drive chance that's held. Parayko's robbed as the Blues press, and then on a blast from the point, Ekholm scores. Brown and Carrick with the assists at 7:05. The Blues press with 5.5 minutes left. The Oilers score. It's waved off for a high stick. They review it. They look at it. And nope, high stick. So that does not count. It's 1-0 for the Oilers after one. Second period, good early back and forth. Draisaitl to Perry. There's a near miss there. Krug has a screenshot that stick to side. Henrique's denied. Binnington holds there. The Oilers score. Goaltender interference challenge. And, yep, no goals. So that's 2 goals taken off the board. Kane then had a fight with Tucker. The Blues come out of that with a power play, which Kane didn't agree with, but the Blues score on it. Shen with a one-timer from the right circle. Falk and Hayes with the assists at 8:15. Goalie interference challenge was thrown out there, and I was surprised they challenged that for goalie interference. I didn't think there was enough there to turn it. So that fails. The Blues go back to the power play, and it becomes 1 minute and 11 seconds of 5-on-3. And despite some moments where it looked like St. Louis might take advantage, they don't. The Oilers kill that off. Draisaitl's then robbed on a breakaway. McDavid hits the side of the net. The Oilers press with 8 minutes left. McLeod's denied on a rush. We get a power play for the Oilers. Bouchard prevented a shorthanded goal for Buchnevich. That was just sitting right there in the crease. Power plays killed off, 1 shot on net. 44.6 seconds left. The Blues, they go to the power play, so that rolls over into the third period where we have a score tied at 2 to start, or tied at 1 to start it. There's a shorthanded chance for Janmark. That saved. The Oilers finish the kill, and then at 1:44, Shen with a one-timer on a rush scores from Kapanen and Hayes. The Oilers press for response. We get a power play for the Oilers. That's killed off. It's almost all Oilers from here the rest of the game, to be honest. Teams exchange rushes. The Oilers press at 9 minutes. The shots are 8-4 with 8 minutes left in favor of Edmonton. Hyman nearly ties it. Binnington holds. And then at 14:35, Draisaitl scores from McDavid and Ekholm. So for McDavid, he's getting closer to that 100 assist mark in a season. Just ridiculous. The Oilers then look for the lead, but we go to overtime. The Oilers 8-3 in overtime. St. Louis 6-3. The Oilers control early. McDavid to Hyman. That gets picked off. Hyman steals it back. Ekholm's denied. And on a turnover rush, Saad scores at 2 minutes and 9 seconds. The Blues pull this out. They pull within 3 points of a playoff spot. They're now 40, 31-4 on the season. The Oilers with the overtime loss, 45, 23, and 5. They do get the point, though. Shots on net, 9-6 Edmonton in the first, 17-13 St. Louis in the second, 13-5 Oilers in the third, and 3-1 Oilers in the overtime. But that one shot for St. Louis, that's the one that matters. Final shots, 38-29 for the Oilers. Power plays, Edmonton 0-2, St. Louis 1-4. The hits, 29-14 for St. Louis. Skinner saves 26 out of 29. Binnington saved 36 out of 38. But entertaining game? Sure. All right, next up. LA and the Winnipeg Jets. So this is interesting, right? LA starts that trip through Western Canada with a win over Vancouver, and now they've lost to Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg. So it's Talbot versus Bressois. The shots are 2-1 in favor of the, I believe it was favor of the Jets at that point at 2.5 minutes. No idea why I put it up there the way that I did. The Kings press at 4.5 minutes. They don't get shots out of it, though. The Jets press are kept to the outside. Mikey Anderson has a blast. That's held. Scheifele has a net feed that's picked off. Ehlers fires one wide on a rush. At 11:13, Cole Perfetti opens the scoring for Winnipeg from DeMello and Connor. And that's what I've been saying. Score first. Make LA play your game. LA does answer, though, at 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Arvidsson scores from Moore and Doughty, so it's a 1-1 tie. Niederreiter's then denied as the Jets press to get the lead back, but it stays 1-1 after one. Second period, early press by the Jets. Kings get pinned down. There's a failed clear, and then the Kings get some pressure of their own. Teams exchange rushes after that. DeMello to Ehlers near miss. Niederreiter has a chance. That's caught and held. The shots are 2-1 Winnipeg. 5 minutes in. But at 5:48, Fiala scores from Gavrikov, and it's past a screen from the slot. Jets press to respond. There's more pressing, or the Kings press at 9 minutes, and they get more pressure halfway through the period. So it felt like momentum shifting towards the Kings. They've got the lead, but during a press of their own at 11:49, Monahan tips one in. Morrissey and Connor with the assist, so that ties it up. Arvidsson then has a rush chance that's saved at 13:56. LA gets the lead back again. It's Kopitar from Kempe and Gavrikov. In fact, the shots are 10-5 for LA with 5 minutes left, but the Jets would get some opportunities and they would score to tie it. Morrissey scores one on a rush. It's his first goal in a while. He gets that one from Perfetti and Connor at 16:47. Ehlers to Velarde gets blocked. The Jets press. But after the second period, it's a 3-3 tie. Third period, Kings press at 2 minutes. In fact, the shots are 7-0, 4 minutes in favor of LA. Brossoit's earning his money. There's more pressure by the Kings at 5.5 minutes. Niederreiter's then robbed on a rebound. The Jets press at the half. They're kept to the outside. We get a power play for the Jets. That's killed off. It was killed off with a nice shorthanded rush by Moore. Puck goes the other way, though. Power play's done. But on that rush, Perfetti scores from Pionk and Schmidt at 13:05. So for Cole Perfetti, that's 2 goals. If he's heating up, that's huge for the Jets as the playoffs is right on the horizon. The fans were making calls in that third period. The ref just not listening. There were numerous calls, but the referee only gave 1 power play in the entire game. That was to the Jets, though. As much as they might have wanted to chant, "Ref, you suck," they didn't give the Kings a single power play. Goalie pull happens with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. There was an empty net miss by Appleton, which felt like it might be big, but in the end, the Jets hold on. They win 4-3. They go to 45-24-8 with the win. With the loss, the Kings 38-25-11. And again, they now have to worry about the Blues, who are right beneath them in the standings. Shots on net, 12-5 Winnipeg in the first, 12-11 LA in the second, 11-9 LA in the third. Final shots, 32-28 for the Jets. LA didn't have a power play. Winnipeg did not score on the 1 power play they had. The hits 40-33 Winnipeg. Talbot saves 28 out of 32. Brossoit 25 saves on 28 shots. I believe with 98 points, that means that Winnipeg's clinched, right? I didn't double check that, but I'm pretty sure that means Winnipeg's clinched a playoff spot. All right, last up is Seattle and San Jose. So these are 2 teams that are not going to the playoffs. Entertaining all around, kind of, sort of, depending on your level of interest in hockey between 2 teams that aren't going to make it. Grubauer versus Blackwood. Seattle scores on their first shot. It's Beniers from Bjorkstrand and Tolvanen at 29 seconds. Sharks press to respond. There's a delayed game call. That gives the Kraken a power play. That's killed off. The shots are now up to 4-0. So San Jose with a slow start tonight. Eklund couldn't bury one in close. The Kraken score, but it's offside, so that comes off the board. Seattle presses with 9 minutes left, and at 11:26, Bjorkstrand buries one top corner. Tolvanen and Beniers with the assist. So Beniers with a goal and a helper tonight. Good to see for him. Bailey to Cunnin. There's a near miss there. We then get a power play for the Sharks, and they score on it. It is Zetterlund from Granlund and Eklund at 14:19, or the Lund cubed line, I guess, because all of them end in Lund. And then, well, Seattle answers back. At 17:06, Shane Wright, in his first game back up, he gets a goal. So Wright with the goal from Eberle and Schwartz. That's good news if you're a Seattle fan, as well as the fact that they're up 3-1 after 1. Second period, power play for Seattle. That's killed off. The Kraken press after it's done. Addison has a shot that's blocked. The Sharks would press, and they would score. Costin tips one in. Vlasic and Zetterlund with the assists at 5:01. The shots are 4-3 Seattle, 7.5 minutes in. Beniers has a rush chance, that's held. The Sharks have a 2-on-1 that misfires. Things get kind of pushy and punchy on a Grubauer hold. Dunn has a screenshot, that's held. Kraken press with 4 minutes left. There's a near miss for Zetterlund as San Jose gets some pressure. With 15.2 seconds left, the Sharks go to the power play. So it stays 3-2. After the second period. Third period, the Kraken finished the kill. No shots on net for San Jose there. Seattle had the only shot on net 3.5 minutes in. So again, kind of a slow start to the period. Sharks press at 7 minutes. Bjorkstrand has a rush chance. That deflects out. The Kraken press 9.5 minutes in. Gord gets hit in the leg by a shot from Vince Dunn. He exits there. That looked like that probably hurt. Dunn can't have felt great either. So things get pushed in a hole by Blackwood. That would happen a couple of times down the stretch in this. Goalie pull, it takes until there's 45 seconds left. Seattle just wasn't giving up the puck. And then they hit the empty net at 19:52. It's McCann from Schwartz and Dunn. So in the end, your final score is 4-2. Seattle goes to 31-30-13 with the win. With the loss, San Jose 17-49-8. Shots on net, 11-10 Seattle in the first, 9-8 Seattle in the second, 14-6 San Jose in the third. Final shot, or other way around, 11-10 San Jose in the first, 9-8 San Jose in the second, 14-6 Seattle in the third. Final shots, 32-26 for the Kraken. Power plays, Seattle 0-2, San Jose 1-2. The hits, 22-8 for San Jose. So San Jose had some shots, they had some hits, just couldn't get the win. Grubauer saves 24 out of 26. He was good. Blackwood saved 28 out of 31. I thought he was good as well. There you go. You're all caught up. Let me know your thoughts about these games in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.